Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, we are from Group 4, 1CC10 class. So today, we want to explain to you about the application and the newest features on Elementary OS 6 Odin, and all the things that you need to know about Elementary OS 6. Before we dive into the presentation, let us first introduce ourselves.
Hello, my name is Fajar Arifianto Mustika.
My name is Jeremi Lukas Susanto.
My name is Natasya Mutiara Alisa.
And so without further ado, let's get into it.
So, what is operating system? Operating system is system software that manages computer hardware, software resource, and provides common service for computer program.
What is the definition of elementary OS? Elementary OS is an open source operating system based on Ubuntu Linux, the world's most popular free OS and built around GNOME desktop environment. It features its own theme, icon, and application.
The history of Elementary OS. So in the beginning, Elementary OS was not a Linux distribution. In fact, it was not even a software project, but a design one. Elementary OS started as a GNOME 2 icon set, and then a GNOME theme that was intended to be used with Ubuntu. Daniel 4 created it in 2009, and the theme quickly became very popular. 4 even ended up working for Canonical, the corporation behind Ubuntu, as a designer for almost 2 years, thanks to this notoriety. Before leaving Ubuntu, he began a new project that could fulfill his vision of a Linux distro, actually an OS, should be, the Elementary Project. The Elementary Project started first as a mock-up or concept of an ideal desktop environment. Then some developers developed a few things like modified Nautilus, the GNOME 2 file manager, and Dexter and Postler, a contact manager and email client, respectively. Then they built its own desktop environment, Pantheon, and finally its own distribution, Elementary OS. The first release of Elementary OS, based on Ubuntu 10.10, was Jupiter in March of 2011, and then Luna was released in August of 2013, and Freya was released in April of 2015. Jupiter was released with a customized GNOME desktop. Luna was the first release to have Pantheon as its desktop environment.
The difference between Elementary OS 6 and Elementary OS 5. Dark style and accent color. Elementary OS 6 breaks off its dark style and accent color. It is an advantageous feature for users that want to balance the lighting for their OS environment. To access and use this visual style, go to System Settings, Desktop Appearance, Sandbox and Portals. Related to the new Flatpak apps is a new privacy-centric feature called Portals. Here you can see exactly which system access permission each app wants, and then turn them on or off as required. Portals covers permission for built-in apps, apps from App Center, and anything installed with the sideload utility. This is found in Settings, Application, Permission. Multi-touch. Elementary OS 6 Odin's multi-touch feature support is a flexible need for improved user experience with touchscreen and touchpad device. For example, to expose open apps and workspace through a multitasking view, all you need to do is swipe up on your touchscreen or touchpad device with 3 fingers. To further customize your multi-touch gesture, go to System Settings, Mouse and Touchpad Gestures. Notification. The new notification have batch capabilities that contribute two important functionalities like a visual status indicator. This visual indicator provides rich information like the app name associated with a specific notification or a particular app or system service status. Task. Elementary OS 6 Odin debuted a new and polished task app. So, for users that rely on a to-do list to manage their daily activities, Elementary OS provides a comfortable user environment whether this to-do list is on this OS environment or synchronized with other online platforms. Firmware update. The Linux vendor firmware service power and propels the built-in firmware update support for Elementary OS 6 Odin. Hardware manufacturers like 8BitDo, Logitech, Lenovo, Starlab, Wacom, Intel, HP, and Dell facilitate this firmware update. From the firmware settings, go to System Settings, System Firmware. New web app. You will be dealing with a new web interface app with a different name from the previous reference AppName. Elementary OS 6 has a new reader mode that strips down content-heavy pages to make them easily readable for users who find themselves on content-heavy web pages. Through multi-touch, it is easy to navigate between pages. New Mail app. Elementary OS 6 Odin implements a new mail application. It is a complete rewrite of the old mail app. It supports the IMAP mail account standard from its online account settings with the flexibility of adding more account types shortly. Polish App Center. Elementary OS 6 Odin users are guaranteed better privacy and security standard when dealing with third-party App Center apps due to their distribution as sandbox flatpaks. In addition, an in-app notification now prompts when in-app is successfully installed from an app list. As a result, it is now flexibly faster to open and test such installed apps. Flexible panels. Unlike in Elementary OS 5, OS 6 Odin application menu indicator has a richer hovering functionality to detail more information regarding the hidden menu items on your Elementary OS 6 user interface.
This is the Elementary OS 6 Odin's look like. You can change the theme by system settings, desktop, and appearance. You can change to light or dark. You also have 10 accent color. So this is a multi-touch. You can use 3 fingers to swipe up, or swipe down for a multitasking view. Also, you can dismiss notification using 2 fingers to swipe left. This is the task app. You can make a to-do list to manage your daily activities. For example, hang out. You can set due on the weekend. So this is firmware update. You go to system settings, system, and firmware.
Okay, advantages of Elementary OS. First, it is one of the easiest to use. Second, it has an exquisite, modern, and consistent design. Third, because Ubuntu is the best system, you can benefit from its advantages. Fourth, the built-in apps are simple, intuitive, lightweight, and fast. Fifth, it is suitable for users with few requirements or computer experience. Sixth, it is a good start pointing for users coming from other OS.
Okay, so Despite all the advantages, there are actually some few disadvantages, which are number one, technically, it is Ubuntu with a different desktop environment and under default apps. Number two, due to its small team behind, it is not rare to find several errors every time a new release is launched, which are usually resolved via small updates. Number three, the built-in apps are too simple to perform any semi-professional tasks. Number four, the last one is, you cannot expect the same pure design and simplicity from third-party apps.
So that's all from us. Before we close this presentation, we would like to say thank you for taking your time to listen our presentation, and we apologize for any word or our behalf that are not proper in your heart. Thank you for your attention.